Hi everyone, so in today's video I'll be once again showing you how easy it is to paint kitchen cabinets. In case you're new here, I'm Mary and I love to share the many projects I have going on around here with you all. So last summer I had showed you how I painted Catherine and Austin's kitchen. Catherine is my oldest niece, and I had kind of showed you the process. And what I'm doing in today's video is pretty much the same thing, but it's always fun to see before and after pictures, and especially kitchens, I think, because it makes such a big difference to paint them. And this was actually done this past winter. This is my second niece, Emily. Brian and Emily got married in March. So we ended up painting the cabinets, or the doors and the drawers of the cabinets, at home in our shop. Brian and Emily ended up doing a lot of painting in their home. In fact, as I was editing this video, I marveled at what all got painted. I think almost everything got painted, and it made such a big difference. They have a beautiful home, and Emily did an awesome job of taking videos and even some cool time lapses that I think you guys will enjoy. And if my background does not look familiar to you guys, it's because we are on our summer vacation. We're actually at the beach presently. I'm doing some editing, and I thought I'd find a quiet corner here to do just a bit of filming. But back to painting, let's see some before pictures. So as you can see, these oak cupboards are looking pretty orange. Definitely will brighten them up to get them painted. We are planning on painting, all of the kitchen doors and drawer fronts, and then there's a little office space also kind of in the kitchen, a dining room area, and the laundry room has a cabinet, and then the bathroom, that is mostly what we're going to be working on. And Brian ended up removing a top cabinet that was kind of oddly placed in between some windows. They plan to put some open shelving in. That will definitely look a lot better than the clumsy cabinet that's up there. And together they removed all of the doors and the drawer fronts and the hardware. Here they're using crud cutter to go over everything, kind of prepping it to be painted. They will be using brushes and rollers to paint, and the paint is the Do It Best brand paint, the one that I always use. It's a satin sheen, and it's the ultra white color here in the kitchen. Everything will be white, that little office corner, the laundry room, and then the bathroom is going to be gray.
beautiful, beautiful. So this purple really offsets. If you put the purple right up against the white and the gray, it just gives it that nice tone. In all the projects I have done, I really enjoy this purple. We call it kind of in did almost said it in Czechto material, but it's real good stuff. This will dress up any room. It'll add that final touch that you're looking for.
So heading on over to our shop, I'm starting to prep the doors here using a crud cutter. And of course these doors and drawer fronts could easily be brushed and rolled too. I say easily, but if you compare it to just spray painting them, it's so much easier to do that. Going with spray painting versus, rolling and brushing. And I think it always does a nicer job. I mean, you can do it the other way. I have in the past if it didn't work for me to, spray paint, but I feel it does have a nicer finish if it is sprayed. I, of course, had to thin my paint down to run it through the sprayer, and I often get asked, how thin I make it. It's kind of hard to describe, but I'd say it's kind of like thick milk, a little thinner than buttermilk maybe. Often you can just kind of test, see what works. Hard to imagine being that we're in midsummer season, but this was actually filmed in January and there's snow on the ground. Everything looks gray and drab like it often does in Ohio during this time of the year, but we actually had a day that it warmed up to I think around 50. And again, I don't always follow rules that it says, on the paint can that it has to be a certain temperature, but I knew I'd be able to spray paint these doors and drawer fronts on the outside and even dry some of them on the outside, but I'd always have my inside of the shop to dry them too. Plus we had some rain in the forecast, and I of course didn't want one sprinkle on these doors, so really watched for that. I think we had a pretty neat system going. John brought me the doors and carried the ones that I spray painted away to dry, and it really didn't take that long. We ended up spraying both sides. First we did the inside and then waited for those to dry, and by the time we were finished, painting all the insides, we could start again on the outside. They dried fairly quick, thankfully. I always like to apply a top coat of some sort to my painted doors and drawers, and in this case I'm going with the Annie Sloan Clear Wax again. I've done this in the past. You guys have seen me do this often. In fact, when I did Austin and Catherine's kitchen, that was last summer, I also used this method, and theirs is holding out nicely, so I want to do this again. But in the past I often used polyacrylic but it is a little more of a challenge to kind of get it on nice and evenly. Here John is brushing it on, and I'm using a rag to kind of buff it. It just gives a nice hard clear finish. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you're inspired if you're, again, one of those people that have that orangish kitchen or just a really dark kitchen, you know, cabinets. It's amazing what paint will do, just lighten up the whole space. And I always tell people, if you put paint on a surface that has been finished before, you're going to get some areas that will have some paint coming off, like doors and drawers that you use a lot. But don't despair. To me, it's worth it to just touch that up every now and then versus having those orange or dark cabinets. So as always, I hope your day is going great. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.